Hello. Looking for Lieutenant Kano. I do not.
Your name, sir?
Kevin Ham. I'm sorry? Can't ever go on. He's up here.
I feel more comfortable standing.
No one is helping you?
I'm waiting.
Waiting? Okay.
Hi. Hi, Cunningham?
Yep.
Or is that the Lopez? Can we talk out here? So.
Sure.
I had an ADT fire alarm.
Going all right?
It was on.
Yes, so they mentioned that you were down here.
Yeah. Is there a reason I wasn't contacted?
We haven't really gotten to it because we have a caseload, but eventually we would be contacted.
How long is that going to take?
Oh, now you're here, we can have a discussion.
Okay, so essentially on January 19th,
Okay.
came and make a report, which I recorded,
Okay.
which I know you guys have viewed, for a total of about 3 minutes.
Okay.
I can tell that.
You can tell what? I'm sorry.
That you viewed both the entirety of those videos for a total of about 3 minutes.
Okay.
I can tell that. But it's documented.
Okay. By us viewing it, is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't me. I could let you know that. But okay.
So then who looked at it?
I couldn't tell you. I'm about to start this case investigating it.
Okay. So essentially on January 19th, I came in, made a report, and basically none of what I said was in the report. Where I feel like the most important things were not in the report. So, you know, when a citizen comes into the police station and says to an officer, people are trying to, I believe people may be trying to intimidate my family, don't you think that should be in the report?
Should be. I think so. If that's what you.
Doesn't that sound like that might be the most important part of it?
Right.
And then
I was in there for the initial report. Did you ever come back to speak to the
I tried to update the report.
patrol supervisor? Did you ever come back to speak to the patrol supervisor about making that report and finding discrepancies in the report, or did you just speak to another officer about it?
I came into the station, asked to update the report after discovering that it was missing information. Didn't happen.
How long after?
It was about 6 months. Because now that report is coming up into a potential lawsuit, a New York State Division of Human Rights complaint.
Okay.
There was also another part where I told this officer, he asked me directly, who do I believe might have these things that were taken from me? And I told him it's one of my bosses. That's not in the report.
Right, you mentioned possessions. What do you mean by that?
Hard drives, sneakers, a bunch of shit from my computer. And I'm recording this because everywhere I go, people lie on me and to me. So
No, the reason
that's
why
the end of that shit. We're not doing that anymore.
So let's try to let's have a mature conversation. Let's try not to get profanity involved. Okay, I'm being honest with you.
I understand.
This
but
is the first time I'm speaking with you. I'm trying to get details. Since you're here already, I'm giving you the opportunity, right? I'm reading possessions. That's why I asked you the question. What possessions do you mean? I didn't know nothing about what happened in the past with you.
Okay.
I'm just making sure. Again, I'm with Internal Affairs or with Office of Professional Standards, and we look into our policy and procedures, see if there's anything that's been wrong or done wrong in the process, which is fine. We review stuff. So I'm going to ask you questions that are very specific for that reason. So when you're giving me an account, I'll really appreciate it in detail. Eventually, I'll follow up with you, right? Again, this is the first time we meet. I'm just hearing you out. So I know you're frustrated. I'm trying to get an understanding of what's going on. I truly don't know the details of what happened with this report and what you reported. So when I'm asking questions, they may sound redundant to you, but I know nothing about it, okay? Okay, so these possessions that you mentioned just now, what's the relationship between you and your boss?
All right. One of them was a cell phone.
Okay.
And I recently found out that that cell phone was last seen in Harrison, where he lived.
Okay.
And then I also found out recently through this New York State Division of Human Rights complaint that they're forging my signature on legal documents and shit. They're doing all kinds of things.
Did you file a complaint with that department, or they did?
I did.
Someone? Okay.
And then beyond that,
What's the complaint about?
Is that like a work thing? Like a...
it's a work thing,
Okay.
but I also told this officer on January 19th that I suspected that they had something to do with it. And then what do you know? The cell phone's seen in the town where he lives, which is not in the city of White Plains.
How do you know it was seen in another town? Did you do your investigation? Did you hire a private investigator?
No. So I looked on the Google account, saw the phone, and it was last seen in Harrison, New York.
Like a Find My Phone.
Correct.
Thing. Find My phone. Okay.
Why would is this your boss you're saying, or your friend?
It was.
Okay, why would he have possession of your phone? What would make you...
I don't know. I'm not a cop. So when I came here and I told them that I believe people may be trying to intimidate my family because they won't say anything to me, and then the phone turns up in Harrison, and then through this complaint, I find out that they're forging my signature on documents. It kind of looks like they have something to do with all this shit.
In what way you feel that you're being intimidated? Or
Not me.
Or your family?
Because they won't say anything to me.
And they is...
My uncle, my grandparents, the people I lived with, when all my shit just suddenly disappeared.
So your former employer is a relative of yours?
No.
No. So I'm trying to understand that connection. So you're...
Okay, so I was working for him,
In what?
and while
In
I was at a coffee company, I was on a route, I was in Manhattan, I believe, and I got a call from my uncle telling me that my grandmother left all my stuff in the driveway, and when I got off of work that night at about 8 o'clock, that was not the case.
That was not the case, okay.
That was not the case.
Were out on the street?
They were in the driveway, but a number of things were missing.
Okay. And was at any time was this a family court situation where you guys had disputed the possession?
Nope. Okay. Well, actually, I believe it was Detective Love kept asking me if I wanted to sue, and my response is, what the fuck does that even mean? Sue who? For what? Who am I suing? And he didn't give me a response. We finished that conversation. I called him back 5 or 6 times, left him voicemails, and he never called me back. So when I say I don't know anything, and then I look at the police report and there's no statement other than the statement I made.
But you met with the detective from the
I did not.
TV unit? Detective Lowe, you spoke with him on the phone?
I spoke with him on the phone.
And so were you looking at the time to pursue any charges against the family member, or were you felt?
Why would I be looking to charge my family if I think they were intimidated by my employer?
Right. But family can mean like the whole possessions in the driveway. You're mentioning a phone taken by your mother. At any time did you mention that you wanted to file a criminal complaint against someone?
So on January 19th, which I recorded, I mentioned to the officer who took the report that I had a theory that one of my bosses had taken the phone.
Out of your house?
Out of my house,
Okay.
while I was at work for him.
Here, I'm sorry, because it's little bits and pieces, maybe we don't know the whole story.
I mean,
So
have you read the initial police report yet?
I have not.
It would have been helpful to read that report.
Sorry, I
A.
understand. I'm just
B,
coming down
listen
here.
to what I actually reported.
Loop us into your work status. Was you're working at a coffee shop? Maybe you stopped working there.
I was
doing
working
coffee
for a coffee company
Okay.
that distributes to bodegas, corporate accounts. If you guys have coffee here, they can
Right.
sell you coffee.
Okay.
So you had an assigned route to do this deal every day?
Basically.
Okay.
And this all occurred while I was at work in his van, which has a lytic system with audio and video. So it's not like he didn't know precisely where I was when this happened. And then there was this other thing where the manager there kept trying to buy fucking kilos from me. Like, it's, the entire thing seemed like a setup. So what I think would be helpful is if you guys, A, read the initial report, B, viewed the audio that I sent to you guys, and then we had this conversation. But the issue is that I can tell that it was viewed, and it's like it was viewed for about a minute, and then it was clicked off of,
And potentially
and then I was never
And
contacted.
potentially could have, because what we do sometimes, especially if it's private files, we scan it first, and we may have our IT team do that. So that's a potential, I'm not gonna deny that, but I'm telling you what, I definitely haven't seen the files, so that would be something, so once
Well,
I get.
I've only sent it to Lieutenant Kano.
Yep,
Kano.
that would be our
Kano.
supervisor, yeah. But she also, same thing with her, she would say the same thing, that it would have to be scanned, and it's a process, and then it'll get back to our office, and then we'll click and open it. I mean, there's protocol we have to follow, right? Just to make sure there's nothing in it that, has any virus or anything, simple as that. Okay, so we'll leave each other with the contact information. Now you know that I'm running with the case, right? I'll be investigating it thoroughly. We definitely will, there'll be a follow-up, and we'll have a more in-depth conversation. I don't think this is the right place right now, right? There's a lot of our information that you want to divulge, and we can meet and have that discussion, okay? But let me do my initial investigation, let me follow up on this report, look into the files that you brought, that you sent, and then we'll take it from there.
But the most crucial pieces are not in the report. And then him describing me as paranoid when you can see my face on the video is some shit that they do in the Midwest.
So I can, if
Do
my...
I look paranoid right now?
No, but what I can tell you is that during my...
I'm frustrated and aggravated, but I'm not paranoid.
But if I investigate it and I find, like that's what our office does, if we feel that perhaps this report there had to be more information put on, then we'll recommend
Well,
it.
that's the other problem. When I came here and tried to update it, I wasn't able to.
It makes it a little bit difficult months later. That's why I asked you. I was asking you, when did you do this report? So it's already...
It shouldn't really matter though.
It should actually, because it not only goes through us, this becomes it's a state report. So it can potentially, if it's state report, it can be that it's more involved, more other departments with their hands on it. So yes, it does, and then we would have to file paperwork in order to amend the report. So it's not that simple as you think it is.
Okay.
But depending again, it depends on circumstances. I'm just giving you scenarios. I don't know the situation, so we will investigate it. So if it happens to be a state report, it's not just our department looking into it. We would have to do the paperwork to get that report amended.
See, the issue
Once
is
we get
though,
approval, then and we'll keep you up to date. We'll let you know what the steps are. If it has to be done, it'll be done. Simple as that.
the issue here is that had I not recorded it, none of what I said would have went in there, and he described me as paranoid. So that's a problem.
I'm sorry.
Whoever took that report, I don't remember his name, but you can look at the report and see who the reporting officer was, right?
All right. I'll look into
You
it.
have that ability.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
So I feel like there's nothing else for us to speak about right now.
No. If I can just, can I write my contact on this paper that you have in your hand?
No, these are certificate of disposition.
Oh, you have
so,
a recording device going on, right?
yeah, but
Okay, I could store it.